I want to welcome you guys back to the channel. It's been a little while. I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about detail and design of a piece. And this piece that I'm setting beside here, I actually started this piece, I'm going to say 5 years ago or so. And it was a log in the round. And I've worked on it off and on, I'm going to say for a month of Sundays, because I only work on it about 3-4 hours a week every now and then when I feel like it. As I was working this piece, I started to go through a lot of negative space. Of course, I went through the legs here, but then eventually, as I was carving, I came through here one night at the wings, and then I was carving this snake along. Well, he just looked so stiff and not really part of the piece. It was just so static and stiff. So one night while I was carving, I went through here behind the snake, and I left kind of the round shape of the log, but look here where I went through here again. And then, of course, I came on through, I had his arm and this chain kind of bridged to this back leg. Well, he still looked so stiff and static that way. So I eventually carved this whole area out of here. And I even went through, as I was working this chain. Now, I don't know how many of you wood carvers have tried carving a chain. It's not the easiest thing to do. And I didn't go through all the way to make it an actual movable chain. I did leave bridging in between. But a lot of the reason for this chain in this guy's hand is I was afraid that his arm would get broke off. It was once going to be a sword here. But you know, guys, that's what I like about working on a piece every now and then, and not just jumping in and doing the whole piece, you know, because as I would look at it in the studio, I would change my mind along the way. And I'll give you some examples of what happened along the way of this guy. See where I got this band on his arm right here? All right. At one point, he had a shield here. And he was going to be shielding this dragon that was a giant. See how I got all the puzzle pieces around the bottom? Well, this dragon was a puzzle piece that came up here and turned into a dragon. And I had this shield here. But what happened was, you guys, with that shield, you can only imagine where my hand is here, the shield was. Well, it was blocking the view of his face. And also, the puzzle dragon that I had carved, which goes on this flat area here, it was blocking the whole piece. And I didn't really like what I had. So it sat on the shelf for another 6 months, and me looking at it every now and then. And one day I just took the chainsaw and sawed this other dragon I had going off the front of here. And I decided, okay, I can glue on another dragon or a demon that he's fighting. And I carved the shield. Well, I took a saw actually and sawed the shield off up here because it was blocking his face and it wasn't working with my design. I just want to point out how I got the castle down here below, and I got some doors. And guys, in a lot of my own personal pieces like this, the doors are part of my design that I like to use a lot of times. I'll turn this around. See, I got a door here and two back here in the back. I'll turn them where you can, well, in the front, actually. All right, I got doors. Now, I want to talk just a second before I show you what I got going with the demon he's going to be fighting. I wanted to show you let's say, the detail, all of the little feathers, every one of these feathers I have set there. And these feathers would take me about 7 or 8 an evening in a 3 hour session or something, 7 or 8. And same way with the chain links on the chain. And I'd do 4 or 5 in an evening of 3 or 4 hours of setting in there. Well, now this is where it gets really ridiculous. Look at the scales I started on this snake. I just started them about a week ago. And how crazy it is to sit there and make those little cuts and then relief on the scales of the snake. And I actually came through here. I got the snake chain. The chain is around the snake's neck here. And I went through here. And all of a sudden, opening up these areas have just, I'm going to say, blown this piece wide open, so to speak. I really like what's starting to happen. Now, the demon, since I cut the other one off and I didn't like it, because what it was doing was just blocking the whole view of the piece, you guys. So I got this the other night. I took this board and I chainsawed out here and here, and I used this piece and I glued it with Gorilla Glue and clamped it here. Now, the whole idea, guys, is I am going to chainsaw this into a demon snake like this, and where I've left off the chain here will be coming up and also have this demon chained. And this is going to glue right to there. All right. And I am going to carve the head of this snake coming over his arm, and that's what he's shielding off there. I don't think there's going to be a shield. It's just his arm up there. And anyway, when you're trying to design a piece and you really don't know what the design is, sometimes half the fun, and let me stress, half the fun, because I have had a good time. I really like what I got going. I hope to have this demon chainsawed out. It's going to be a snake. But the reason why I brought it in here like this, and it'll even be in more, and it could even be over to here before I glue it. I'm not sure. But the reason being is this is open here. It's not blocking the view of my piece. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys a little bit about sometimes planning like this. I have no clue for sure what I'm doing because I don't have any pattern or anything to go by. I am just making this stuff up as I go here. And I'm going to chainsaw this out a little later today. And I hope to show you guys, I won't have it glued on the piece or anything, but I will have it enough to where you guys can see where I'm headed with it. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys a little later.